Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms. Free-to-play role in the Alliance and in the Kingdom, especially during the Lost Kingdom or any other Kingdom event that will be in the future. We all know about Light and Darkness. So I want to give you guys my best tips and advices if I would be free-to-play, or at least from my gaming experience so far, what is the best role of a free-to-play player in the Alliance and in the Kingdom. I want to classify these tips and advices that I want to give you guys in three main categories. So the first category is obviously filling garrisons, any type of garrisons, flag, passes, fortresses, and two is filling rallies. The second one is resource assistance. That is true, might sound very hard, but that's exactly what free-to-players need to do. They need to sustain the main fighters of the Alliance or the main fighters of the Kingdom. And the three is helping with field battles. Now, all these three main categories will have some subcategories, especially when we get to the field battles. I'm gonna detail a little bit about that as well. The first one is joining garrisons and joining rallies. You're probably wondering, why should free-to-play actually do that? Because they're obviously not spending, they're obviously not having that many speed ups. Well, it's strength in numbers. This is pretty much the answer about the first category, joining garrisons, joining rallies. The pay to win players, they obviously launch the rallies, they obviously have the technology, they obviously have whatever bonuses they need, titles in the Kingdom and what else, and they're also garrisoning the defense. They are the main defense garrison, but they need people to actually fill those rallies, they need people to actually fill those garrisons. Now, treasuring your troops, that does not help your Kingdom, and I can give you a lot of examples in my KvK. I'm just going to take my KvK for example, that it is right now, where I would have to tell you that the kingdoms that we went against, they have a much higher free-to-play activity than we do. But the morale was really down from a lot of their players, and I'm talking about Kingdom 1130 and 1198, and they literally stopped joining the garrisons, they literally stopped joining the defenses because they probably lost too many troops. If you're a free-to-play player and you're treasuring those troops, you can get in this kind of situation where your kingdom is losing. It all depends how committed you are or how committed you are to help your kingdom. Obviously, in the same time, you also need to analyze the situation. Are you and another 10 free-to-play players the only one all the time that keep joining the garrisons or keep joining the rallies? Because if that is the situation, then I fairly understand if you're stopping to do that. It needs to be a group effort, especially when it comes to the Lost Kingdom or any other Kingdom events in the future. So you need to have a lot of players actually joining garrisons and rallies. Now, another sub-level of this is how can you get speed ups, because obviously this involves a lot of dead troops, and obviously this involves some healing, because for example, joining garrisons like flags and so on, 25% needs to be healed, while just the other 75% die. And the answer is by killing barbarians. This is also a way how you can recover your troops and actually keep having troops. Now, it's very important that you always keep a certain amount of troops. You don't need to zero yourself if you're a free-to-play player. This is not what I'm trying to say in this video. You always need to keep those amount of troops for your marches, that you either use them in Ark of Osiris or you either use them in field battles, because you probably want to do some field battles, and we're going to get to that point as well. So how can you actually build speed ups for that matter? And the answer is killing barbarians. I kill barbarians with 3 accounts every single day. Now imagine if you would do forts, which this is something that a lot of players do because they want to upgrade their academy, and in order to upgrade your academy you need to get your castle to 25, and then there's other various buildings, but they are easy to upgrade. So the castle to 25, it takes a lot of books of Covenant. So a lot of free-to-play players, they do the mistake of doing forts, because that's a way how you can actually get Book of Covenant. But you need to think about the time that you have. You need to think about the time you spend in the game on one account. So having a lot of marches and killing barbarians is actually the most beneficial way how you can spend your daily action points rather than doing forts. Killing barbarians daily, it actually gives you a lot of gems. These cards, they actually stack up over time by keep doing barbarians and barbarians and barbarians over and over. Daily and daily they stack up. Now if you have gems, you can buy the Book of Covenants, or you can buy other various stuff that you need, maybe VIP level, maybe you're looking for some VIP level to actually upgrade that one pair of legendary commanders that you want to, or other stuff from the merchant. When we get to the field battles, we're gonna get to the merchant as well. Mysterious merchant, not any kind of merchant. So having gems for free to play, that's very crucial. And barbarians is the best way. That is your best source of gems. Now imagine doing that month and month after month. That will definitely gonna help you out. And not to go any further about this, I have a free to play account which literally I haven't spent anything. I bought a couple of monthly gem cards on it. I'll be honest, but I did buy a lot of resources from the shop because mainly was a farm account, and lately because he had speed ups, I started upgrading it. So that account right now, by just killing daily and daily barbarians after, I don't know, 9-10 months, whatever, is Castle 24, and I'm like 12,000 gems away to upgrade the castle to 25, and that's a free-to-play account. And like that account, I have a couple of more in progress, and I'm doing the same thing on all my accounts because I need resources. I need accounts to fill my rallies doing war, to fill the garrisons when there's a lot of people at sleep. So I do have a lot of accounts I'm always working on, just in case you're wondering how is my time being spent in Rise of Kingdom. And this is another way how I can show you that I kill a lot of barbarians. I have 62,000 extra arrow of resistance. Probably some players have a lot more because they killed a lot more barbarians than me. Also, by killing barbarians, you make a lot of 1 minute and 5 minute speed ups, and a lot of 1 minute universal speed ups. And now this is stuff that a lot of players that are doing forts, they cannot actually tell you, or they cannot show you because they don't have it. Killing forts, it doesn't really give you a lot of speed ups. What they do is the forts, they give you a lot of Tomb of Knowledge, and they help building up the treasure chest in your alliance. So doing a lot of forts, this is what it does. So when I was in K16, there was players that were running forts daily. That's how they were spending their action points. And without spending, there was days when nobody was spending in the alliance. I can tell you that for sure, that the treasure chest was being built daily. So we had daily treasure chest by just because we had players running forts daily. In this alliance, we don't have problems with that because there's daily people that are spending, so the chest is being filled up. But barbarians is the best way how you can actually acquire speed ups to fill up your troops, your ranks, having speed ups to heal, and having gems to spend. Now, the second point of the video is about assisting with resources. Now, I have done a video about accounts, two type of farming accounts, which is basic and advanced. Now, a basic account is level 17, and I can show you one of mine that I have it over here. It's farming all the time. So this is one of my farm accounts. You're noticing it's City Hall level 17 is like City Hall level 17 like forever. Resource gatherer and resource assistants, that's because he has been through a lot of KvKs, and with the sculptures that I managed to get on these accounts, I just use them to get the chest from those events. That's why they have more resource assistants. Plus, you know, you get from the alliance, you get some resources, you get from the VIP, they are VIP 9 and so on. You know, just usual stuff. They are very old accounts, and I keep them as level 17, but you're noticing that I'm not as active as I should be. This one has 1 billion gathered and 1.2 billion resource assistance. So that's the only thing that I use these two accounts. I just log in once or twice a day on them. That's pretty much about it, and I just send them to a gathering, but I'm generating resources. So as I was mentioning at the second point, this is something that you can do as a free-to-play player, because if you're killing barbs on your main account, trust me that the time you spend on your main account is very less. And this is something very important. You need to think about all the time that you have to spend in the game. If there's no events, right now there is literally no events in the game, so what else is there to do? You can log in on your farm accounts and you send to farm. T5 players always need resources. That's why I'm operating so many accounts. I'm trying to feed myself without asking the help of the kingdom as much as I can using my own time with resources. And I do have a decent amount of resources, even though I have trained recently, but I'm still pretty decent on resources. Having a lot of farming accounts to supply your pay-to-win players in your kingdom that are actually helping your kingdom in the KvK, this is something that you can do. And I can tell you, for example, because you're probably wondering why I'm saying this, I can tell you, for example, from my own kingdom, I'm not going to talk about other kingdoms. There are players, I have seen screenshots, that have billions, free-to-play players that have billions of resources in stocks. I'm not talking about players' cards. And during our war, there were a lot of our main fighting players that literally had to stood down. They were just joining rallies because they were affording to have dead troops, but they were not affording to fill hospitals because they didn't have resources. While some of our free-to-play players, they have billions of resources. So this is something that it shouldn't actually happen. Even if the kingdom is not asking, if you're having stock of resources, you actually need to ask the people, do you need resources? What kind of resources you need? You need to contribute, you need to help your kingdom and your alliance to actually win your KvK. Because if you win, if you're on the winning side, you need to take the bright side. You're gonna start killing high-level barbarians, you have access to high-level altars, and we do let people in. We only have one alliance rotation. This is our altar where it says go home, but we always have room open for people from the other alliances that are online at that time. So if our people are not at that altar, they're being kicked from the alliance, and we let other people join so they can get up their honor. So there's a lot of things you have benefits from. You have access to the middle as well in the same time, and you also have access to high-level barbarians, force, and what else, because everyone knows the middle is the most juicy stuff. So helping your kingdom to win is in the end helping yourself. If you make a lot of honor, you make the achievements without spending a lot of your action points. So it's the individual achievements that you will manage to complete in the Lost Kingdom or KvK or how you want to call it, and you can get sweet reserves, you can get sculpture stars, speed ups. And I can tell you that because I have this achievement, 135,000 individual honor on couple of my accounts already, by just keep killing barbarians daily or joining the altars. So I managed to reach this milestone on couple of accounts just because my kingdom is the winning kingdom. So that's a lot of rewards that I managed to get on my account. So this is something you can do on your main account as well. Now here comes the third point about the video, and it is about field battles. Now here it is the part where pretty much everyone will actually enjoy when it comes to field battles. How can you help your kingdom with field battles? Few mistakes that a lot of players do, going with all 5 marchers. Well, you're a free-to-play player, you don't have the speed ups to actually keep healing that large amount of troops. You need to go with the best marchers that you have. If that is only 2 marchers, that's totally fine. Just go send your 2 marchers, just help with that. You need to use tanky marchers because even against the T5 players, you will not feel them so tanky. And couple of suggestion is Pelagius, if you have Pelagius and Babers, or Pelagius and Belisarius, or whichever other pairs, but you need to use 2, maximum 3 marchers, no more. In the same time, you're having the enjoyment of actually doing your field battles, actually engaging in the battle itself, because that's what everyone wants. In the second time, you're not filling your hospital that fast. You're also helping your kingdom, strength in numbers. You have marchers available to reinforce rallies or reinforce the garrison. If you're a free-to-play player and you're in one of the old kingdoms, you probably have a couple of legendaries already maxed, and I'm not including Ethelflaed or whatever, Cleopatra, which pretty much almost everyone is going to max them at some point. I'm talking about those 1-2 2 legendaries that you're investing in, or you manage to get them maxed at some point. So those kind of marches you want to use. Those are the kind of commanders that you want to benefit from. And like I mentioned, that is also beneficial for you because you're not filling your hospital. Now another way how you can help on the field battles is also by random teleporting and just killing your opponent's farms. Now we all know that that is a very useful type of strategy, if you want to call it like that, because if their free-to-play are not farming, that means that they don't have resources to actually help and supply their main players. So this is also a very important strategy, but just don't try to clinch too much on it, like just doing that over and over and over, because that's not the only thing or the only helpful thing that you can do for your kingdom. But that's also very helpful, and that also means a lot, probably a lot more than you think. Now obviously there's also a couple more things I want to put out in these videos that a lot of free-to-play players they actually don't do it, and that is participating in the Ark of Osiris or the Osiris League. Now probably wondering that's only 30 players or 40 that are always in the main team in your alliance. 20 alliances that can qualify for the Ark of Osiris in each kingdom, meaning that you can create dummy alliances, build a central fortress, build 10 flags, because that's the requirement of to qualify for Ark of Osiris, and just go there, make a team. When it's Ark of Osiris, win or lose, it doesn't matter. You lose, you make 10,000 points, you just let them swarm your city and you get 5 sculptures, 1,000 gems, and what else. Those are resources that you generate every 2 weeks. That's not something you want to throw away. Now imagine if you win, you actually get 2,000 gems, 10 sculptures, you know, and what other benefits you get. So it's highly recommended that you actually try and do Ark of Osiris, or even participate in the Osiris League. If you're a free-to-play player, just organize it and make it happen. There's obviously various and other events you can also participate. It's definitely gonna help you a lot, but trying to help the kingdom as much as possible, like I mentioned, that's the best thing a free-to-play can do for the kingdom if you're interested, or if you're dedicated for your kingdom to actually win in the KvK or the future events like, you know, Light and Darkness. Talking about the courier station or the mysterious merchant, there is one very huge mistake that a lot of free-to-play players they actually do it, and that is not purchasing the advanced army expansion when they are 70% off. Now if you're a free-to-play player, that is the best way you can actually get advanced army expansions, the 50% one. When they are 70% off in the mysterious merchant or the courier station, they are 1,500 gems, and that comes where I talked at the first part about killing barbarians and actually having a large stock of gems. This is the times, or this is the moments when you want to buy one, because the 50% army expansion has a huge impact on the battlefield, and it helps you a lot on the field battles to actually inflict more and more damage. And don't forget the most important part, refreshing your marchers. It doesn't cost anything, so if your march actually gets a little bit too low, you can retreat it, you can refresh it. But 50% army expansions, this is something that is the most needed when you do field battles. If you look into the VIP shop, you literally need VIP 14 to actually buy them from here, and they are 50% off, means they are 2,500 gems. So that's literally a lot. That is a lot of gems. This is how I buy all my expansions. I buy them from the courier station, and eventually if I do buy some bundles, but the courier station, that is my main source of advanced army expansions, the 50% one. The second best source of advanced army expansion, the 50% one, is the shop from the Osiris League. Now in the previous Osiris League we had 10 pieces that we could have buy, and that those kind of coins everyone will make them. You can get 10 army expansion, the 50% one, from the Osiris shop using the Osiris coins that you get either by playing Ark or either by playing the Osiris itself. It says here in the rules, it's over here, While the Osiris League competition is underway, all governors will be able to earn Osiris coins by participating in the league battles or a regular Ark of Osiris battles. Osiris coins can be exchanged for rewards in the league shop, and you're noticing that it's over here, Advanced Army Expansion. So that's where actually your coins should go towards to. That is the best buy that you can get from the Osiris shop, not the sculptures. Having a lot of troops or hoping, this is another point I wanna mention, that a lot of free-to-play players, they are just hoarding troops for as much as they can. Hopefully they will make better results, they will be more competitive in the Ark of Osiris. That can be a thing in the future, but this is not something I would recommend to try. And they also hope that they can take rallies in KvK. Also not something I actually recommend, because the thing that can actually help you to take rallies is having T5s. T5's value in Garrison in your city is actually so much more powerful than you think. The T4, their value is kind of very low, and I'm telling you that from my experience. So it's the T5 value. If you ever manage to reach T5 as a free-to-play player, this is a tip that I want to add in this video, like a sub tip, is when training. A lot of free-to-play players, they do the mistake and they upgrade tier 4 to tier 5. That is wrong. That is horribly wrong. Don't upgrade troops. Don't spend speed ups on that. Always train new. So if you unlock your first T5, just train T5s. And I'm not actually suggesting that you should use those for field battles. I'm actually suggesting that you should use those to either kill them or use them in the Ark. So these are the two options you can do with T5s. If you're a free-to-play players, healing T5s is gonna be very devastating for your resource budget. The reason of training new troops is because you always have something to do with the T4. T4, they always have values either for field battles, reinforcing rallies, reinforcing garrisons. So you don't want to dispense of your T4, or most especially using boosts which you already use to train the same troops, the T4 troops, using boosts again to actually upgrade them to T5. That's a waste of reserves. That's a waste of level 5, level 4, whichever level reserves you have. So my recommendation is always just train new troops. That's pretty much all what I have to say in this video. I think that's a lot of tips and advices, because obviously this is my third KvK that I'm actually on the winning side or on the winning alliances. I do have to say there is a lot of players that do a lot of mistakes, and most of them, they are free to play. I hope you guys find this helpful. Until next time, this is your boy Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care.